I'm joining Gavin Venter at the yard of LAING to hear more about their runners on Friday. Fuel the Frenzy will be first up in race 1, and she's going to have her first outing on Polly.
Yeah, she hasn't shown much in her first few runs. Eventually we got Chase to ride her. So, and it's first time on the Polly, so she's probably going to be a little bit green. But let's Chase come back and give us an idea about what distance to run her, but it's probably a small chance.
Moving to race 3, we'll see Grey Smoke in action, and that is him behind us, enjoying a post-workout munch on grass. Now, he's run second in both of his latest starts, and Gavy's got to have a shot at the victory.
I've got to be honest, I was disappointed last time out. I actually had a bet on him. I couldn't see him get beat. His work was so good. And the frustrating part is the run before that, he jumped and went to the front, and then last time out, he couldn't go with him over the same distance. So we're scratching our head with him, but he is full brother to Chronicles of Narnia, who goes 14 mile. And for a long time we've been wanting to try him over a bit further, so here it is. We're going to try him from a good draw, 1400. His work is, I've just worked him now, his work's always really good. He worked with a 5-time winner. I mean, he's a maiden. Yeah. So if he disappoints you, I'll be very disappointed, but I think he's a big runner.
Another very competitive maiden that the yard will step out is in race 4, where we will see Wolfram.
Yeah, Wolfram, unfortunately, he was coughing his last start, so we had to take him out. I said, Tara, let's do the sensible thing. You don't want those to go bleed. So we scratched him. Unfortunately, the owner was here, but we explained to him, you know, it's not worth the risk. He's now in a race, and I must say this race is a lot weaker than the race he was in. The race he was in, I think John Dell's horse won it, and Kelly, I think, ran second, and they had strong form. So not a bad thing. This race is a lot weaker, although there's 2 new horses with decent form. I think one for Alan and one for Gavin, I think. So depending on how strong they are, he must have a good chance.
In race 6, Kilm Munro will run. Now, she really showed well on her first outing on Polly in her last start.
Yeah, not a bad run. First time on the Polly. Chase wanted to run over 13-14. We did nominate her, but she drew 16 next week over 1400. So I said, no, Taurus, just run from a decent draw rather than a bad draw. And after this race, we can always try her later on. But it's not the greatest of fields, so she must have a chance.
And in race 8, the yard will close with Explicit Content, and he's never far back.
Yeah, Chase said to try him over further. He wants to run 13-14. We put him in a 13, but he came in with 50.5. Then Chase was still going to ride a overweight, so he would have been 2 kilos under sufferance. So we opted to scratch him. He didn't draw well in this race, but it's more a learning curve. It's a 14. He hasn't got the best of draws, but he has got a bit of gate speed. So let's see if this is the distance he wants, and we know in the future. So he could probably run a place.
We'll say he was the first horse I saw when I made my way into the yard, and he's absolutely covered in dapple, so there's no worry about his well-being. Let's hope he enjoys the trip.